Hi, it's me, Cheryl from Pix's Creations. Today, I thought what I would do is I am going to try to do a ring pour, a tree ring pour with two different brands of paint, similar colors. I'm using 8x10 canvases, and if you remember, to decide how much paint you need, I like about 16 ounces per square inch. So you multiply the length times the width. So this, since it's 8x10, you multiply 8 times 10, get 80, divide by 16, that's 5. So you need about 5 ounces, okay? So everything has been pre-mixed for me. Like I do 2 parts Floetrol, which is what I use for my pouring medium. You can get that anywhere. You can get that at, I get mine at Ace Hardware, or I get it at Lowe's. I'm sure they have it at Home Depot. I haven't looked, but I'm sure they have it. And the paints I'm using on Team Top Notch, I got a set of paints at Joann's, and it's Top Notch matte acrylic paints. Well, I'm kind of far away today. New ring light, so bear with me. So I am using, they don't really have, their color names aren't very, oh, aquamarine, sorry, it's on the side. And for Team Folk Art, I've got turquoise, which is similar, but as you can see, one's a little lighter than the other, but that's okay. And then I have Team Top Notch is yellow, and the one that came in the Folk Art set is yellow light. Now it says yellow light, but the Top Notch is a lot lighter, a little bit more dull, a little more buttery, and this is a little more lemony, a little more bright. I don't think that's going to matter for my experiment here. The next one from Top Notch is pink, and that's what it is. And from Folk Art, theirs is bright pink. Now I got these 2 sets with, I think there's like 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah, like 12 in each set. So I tried to find sets that had colors that were similar, just because I want to see if they pour different, being different types of paint. Okay, so here is the pink from Top Notch and the bright pink from Folk Art. This is kind of cotton candy-y, or this is more bubblegummy, if that makes any sense to any of you. So on Top Notch, for the next color is orange. Now, they don't get real creative, I guess, with their names. And then for Folk Art, it's pure orange. They're pretty similar. They're very, very much alike. Okay, so I mixed these all the same. 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint. I should need about 5 ounces for each canvas. I have about 6 ounces on each side. I'm going to put a little white between each color. I'm going to try to be as even as I can with how I pour these. Now the white, I'm using the same white for both, because whites are tricky, and the Top Notch one, I think it was the Top Notch, didn't come with a white, but the Folk Art did. So, but this is Deco Art Americana, and it's their Snow White or their Titanium White. So that's what I've been using for white, since I learned that if I use the Craft Smart White that I bought a big jug of because I couldn't find any others, I was having cracking problems. So what I'm going to do next, and I am using, I should have gotten these out before, but I was not thinking. Bear with me. So I am using cups to do my ring pour, where I'm going to layer my paints. I'm using clear cups because my mom asked me to. So what I might do now is pause for a moment, get some of these colors in, and then come back to you and show you what I got. And I will pour the last couple colors in while you're on camera, all right? Okay, so I've got about half the paint in. So I'm gonna add, to each one, I'm gonna add a dollop of white, dollop of white. Now I can already tell you, based on what I've been pouring so far, normally I don't mix my colors with water, and I don't think I would need to with this side, with the, yeah, I've already forgot, top notch, with the top notch ones, because they seem to flow really well without the water. And I didn't want to add water because I wanted it to be how I normally would do this. Now, if I had seen how thick it was, I probably would have added water. But I want these to be on even footing as far as what I'm mixing in. So, all right, and you can see how they're nice and leveled in the cup. They're very pretty. And so, as always, when you're pouring these, your first color in will be your last color out. I have nothing in here extra to produce cells or anything, which sometimes I use, but I didn't this time. Yeah, because you can see how clunky this is. This is not going to pour well, but we'll find out. And now I'll know that when I use these, I either want to add a little more Floetrol, thin it out, or, ooh, sorry, a little water. But it doesn't mean that the colors aren't going to be really rad when they come out. And I'm going to do my best. I am terrible at ring pours. I am shaky. Some people get these really beautiful purple perfect circles. Not me. That is not something I do because I'm old and I'm shaky. I've always been shaky even when I wasn't old. The family thing. Okay, so I've got my paints in there. And if you bear with me a second, I'm going to clear these little cups out of the way so I don't make a complete mess. Like magic. Ooh, it's all gone. Okay, so you can see this is the top-notch cup. It's kind of pretty. It looks like a candle or sand art. Remember doing sand art as a kid? And then this is the folk art. It's just thicker. It's clumpier. I'm going to start with that one. It's kind of like, you know, starting with what you think is going to be harder first. So now to do, what did I say I was doing? A tree ring pour. All you're going to do, like I said, I'm not great at it, but I do like to do them. So you kind of start your paint, and this is so thick. I don't know what's going to happen here. And you're just going to go in little circles. Oh, this is so globby, it won't even pour. This will be interesting. You will see what an actual tree ring pour looks like with the other paints, because this one just wants to come out in globs. So note to self, next experiment will be with making the same colors from different paints, same consistency. But this is how I learn. And this is how you do learn. You just sort of play. All right. So, ooh, I don't know. That's not even close. Truth be told, it's not the worst tree ring I've ever done, but it's not the best. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit over here to give some paint on the other side. Now this side, let's see how this side goes. Deep cleansing breath. I mean, it's already, and truthfully, normally I probably would have done smaller layers. So I think this is going to be a lot of paint for these canvases. But whatever. All right, now you'll start to kind of see the tree ring. Like I said, I'm not good at this. Some people get these like crazy little great, like one side is all one color, the other side is the next color. But I think I go too fast. But you can, I mean, this one's already a way different pour than that one. But yeah, tree ring is basically just taking the colors and making them go in circles. This is pretty, this kind of looks like candy. But I'm really curious, like once I tilt, because tilting is an important part of this whole process. Yeah, don't do like I do. Don't add so much paint. I was trying to do it all scientifically and make sure that everything was the same amount. So I'm gonna just keep going. And maybe I shouldn't have added the white, but tray is uneven, the way the paint is flowing, but that's okay. Happy little trays. This looks, I mean, it looks really cool. Sometimes I don't like stretching them or tilting them because it just looks so cool when it comes out, but I know I gotta. So if you guys think of trying any of these things, seriously, I would love to see. You can either, you can find us on, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, just look for Pixis Creations. And we're on Etsy under Pixis Creations Art. And that could be because at one time I tried to do an Etsy shop with Pixis Creations and forgot about it. So, all right. But look, the cup still looks cool. So I'm going to set that there for now. And I'm going to set this here. Take this one off. And this is a lot of paint, so a lot of paint's going to drip off. So we're going to see what happens. So now, normally, and you'll see this on the next one, if you like the shape your paint has had, you kind of go from one back to the middle, from one corner back to the middle, another corner back to the middle. Oh, this one's just so thick and gloppy. My guess is, guys, that even when this is finished, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it, because I don't know what it'll look like. It's hopefully it will even out. I mean, it's kind of cool. It is kind of cool, but it's lumpy. So yeah, next time I will definitely add water to the folk art paints and make them a little more fluid, a little more. I'm trying to watch what I'm doing in the camera. It's not always the easiest. This is only my second video so far. Please let me know if you like them. Let me know if there's something you would rather see me try. Like I said, my mom suggested I do the clear cup so you could see what goes on in the cup when the paint layers. Yeah, these are going to look very different from each other because they're very different types of paint. Which I think just goes to show, like, usually I mix all sorts of kinds of paint. Obviously, I have not done a lot with folk art because I did not realize it was so much thicker. And that's not a bad thing. That just means that next time I have to pay more attention and mix it differently, because ideally you want all your paints to be consistent with the other paints in the pour, or else one just kind of like will run over the other one, if that makes sense. Like you'll see a puddle like zoom past another color, which it sort of does anyway, but still. And I'm curious if this is going to dry lumpy because it's so uneven. That's just crazy. So a tip to get the paint to move a little faster if you want is you can, I do like the colors that the drips are making, I hope they even out though, is you can just kind of touch where you want the paint to go and it helps the paint flow over. You can see I'm just kind of tapping. Now, some people may want to wear gloves to do this. Some people don't care, like me. I don't really care. I am really super curious as to how this one's going to dry because it is so clumpy, guys. It's crazy. Okay, I'm going to do just a little more to get so much of this paint off. The other one, the paint will come off a little faster. So, but, you know, just to show you, not all paints are made the same. They're all different. They have different chemical makeups. They have different densities. And density, this is something that I learned today in a group I'm in, that the different density of the paint is why some paints float, like some paints will float on top of each other, and some paints will just drop right through. Like whites tend to be, like, look kind of cool. We'll do close-ups later so you can see it. Actually doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look like what I was going for. And then, man, it's just dripping off those sides so slow. Okay, so move this. This one is definitely ringier, and I'm gonna kind of like it, but I'm still gonna stretch it. I like the colors a lot together. The yellows and the oranges and the pinks have kind of blended. I'm hoping that as I get better with the on-camera thing, I will be able to show you even better how this goes. But yeah, this one, I mean, it flows so much easier. Looks really cool. Looks really cool. And when you're, this one actually has some little cells, which I am not sure if there's going to be cells in my folk art or not. I might have to still do a different tilt on that and get some more paint off so it doesn't crack. Because your paint will crack if it's too heavy on there, because the top layer will dry. Oh, that's cool. Will dry a lot. Will dry faster than the bottom layer, which is, sorry, I'm not a big, you know, not doing two things at one time is hard for me. But your paint will dry, like the top layer will dry, but then your bottom layer still wants to dry, and it will dry and the paints will shrink, and then all of a sudden you have cracking. I do have a couple that I really like that have cracking, but it's from, I think it's more from the paint that I use as opposed to having too much on there. I've got some on this corner that isn't done, but yeah, so I might do a little more tilting, on the other one. I'm gonna give these a few minutes. I'm gonna get my camera down and we'll do a close-up once they've settled for a few minutes. I'm gonna let them stop moving. Actually, you know what? Let me get my camera now and you can see them now, and then later we'll take another look at them and you can see what kinds of changes happen. Okay? All right, bear with me, people. So it's been a couple minutes, but this is what they look like wet. This is the folk art side. Now, mind you, these have the same colors in them as the top notch side. I got the folk art kit from Walmart. It's just a pack of acrylic paints. It's not really a kit of any sort, but this is the top notch side. But you can see the two colors, or the two types of paints, the colors are just so different, even though it's the same. It's like magic. And they both blend very differently. Now I might try another one where I get that folk art to be more the same consistency as the top notch and try those. But let's come back later and see what they look like after they've dried for a while. Hey guys, I'm back. It's been, I don't know, probably about an hour since I last left. So it doesn't look like this one moved a whole lot. There's a little bit of action. That's kind of cool in there, like a little cloudy part. Like clouds, not that it's muddy. And I actually like the colors in this one. I like the vibrancy. I like the craziness. I kind of like it. And I will say this one had air bubbles, so I torched it, which means I literally used a torch on it, like a little handheld, like, you know, you see the chefs use them in kitchens and stuff. So one of those, sorry about my fingers there. So then this one, it also, I torched it too because I wanted fair is fair. And this one has had a little bit of cell action going on, but nothing major. That's what those little like spots are. These other colors come up and it looks like, there's a hair. And I'm not gonna be able to get that out without ruining the thing. So we're just gonna leave it and see what happens. But look how cool that looks, all those swirlies. It's like a, I don't know, another planet or something. So, but yeah, so those are those. Remember, they were done with the same color scheme, and then they were poured pretty much the same way, but they look that different. I want to thank you guys for being here. Remember, you can follow Pix's Creations on Facebook and Instagram. And keep in mind that the only wrong way to do art is to not try it all. Thank you. Have a good day. And don't forget, like and follow and tell your friends. Bye.